Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good afternoon to one and all present over here. This is Dr. Nagarajan, Principal and Professor of Surendra Institute of Engineering Management, West Bengal. Before we move on to today's topic, let me thank the organizer for giving me this wonderful opportunity to deliver a keynote speech on the given topic, an overview of sustainable pathway for global energy transition. I have given my contact number and my website address. If anybody interested to contact me for any research guidance, you can reach me out in the following details. The entire world is now talking about global warming. So this word is not new to all of us. And as the world is getting hotter, and we are facing a lot of problems like climate change, and greenhouse gas emission to the environment, which leads to further temperature rise. And if you look at the main reason behind this, the global warming, generally people are saying the emission of greenhouse gases to the environment causes the temperature rise. But if you look at the specific reason, I would say more carbon dioxide emission leads to further temperature rise. That is the main root cause for this global warming. So today I am going to address that topic with respect to CO2 emission and how we can able to limit the CO2 emission and how best it can be neutralized so that we can leave the best environment for the future generation. So here I have given you the small details regarding CO2 emission. The out of 100% CO2 emission, 27% is from China, and the next leading contributor is USA. They are contributing 14.6% of total emission. And the third contributor is India. It is around 6.80. So if you look at the total carbon dioxide emission, out of 100, these three countries alone contributing 15% of the total CO2 emission. So it is the right time to discuss about CO2 emissions so that we can safeguard the earth against this temperature rise. And what are the main causes and reason for this CO2 resistance? The two major industries contributing nearly 60 to 65% of the total carbon dioxide emission to the environment. The first industry is the energy industry. So from energy industry, we are getting 45 to 50% of the carbon emission into the atmosphere, and followed by transport sector. So transport sector contributing 15%. So I have given the graph over here. There you can see the different sectors and the percentage of carbon dioxide emission from various sectors. The electricity, heat, energy industries, manufacturing, transport, residential. So now we are going to discuss how best this electricity and transport sector can able to reduce the CO2 emission into the environment. So my simple suggestion to further reduce the CO2 emission to the environment from these two sectors, if you look at the energy sector, most of the countries, they are generating or they are depending thermal power plant for generating electricity. And to generate electricity from thermal power plant, you have to burn the coal, and when you burn the coal, you have to release CO2 through thermal power plant. So that is the major reason. So we have to find out alternate resource for the generation of electricity. But right now, majority of the countries, they are depending on thermal power plant. So we have to replace the thermal power plant. The second contributor, transport sector. So we are using fossil fuel vehicles, petrol vehicle and diesel vehicle for their transport, day-to-day transport. So we are getting around 15% carbon dioxide from transport sector. So In order to avoid this further carbon dioxide emission to the environment, the France has hosted the international conference in 2015. They have invited representatives from 196 countries, and in that conference, they have requested all the developing and developed nations to find out alternative source for the energy sector and as well as for the transport sector. So many countries have given assurance to replace conventional energy source by renewable energy source in terms of the energy sector, and they have also agreed to replace conventional vehicle, fossil fuel vehicle by e-vehicle before 2030. So India has already given that assurance to reduce the carbon dioxide emission by 30 to 35% when compared to current emission. They have agreed to reduce 30 to 35% before 2030. So in order to reduce carbon dioxide emission by 30 to 35%, we have to find out alternate resources, at least 40% of the alternate resources for the energy sector and EV vehicle, transport sector, so that we can comfortably achieve this target by 2030. And this is the NASA report. According to the NASA report, the global, if you look at the global temperature rise of last 100 degrees, that is from 1906 to 2005 was from 0.6 degrees Celsius to 0.9. It is from 1.1 to 1.6 Fahrenheit, and on average it is around 1.3 to 1.4 Fahrenheit. But if you look at the current temperature rise of last 50 years, it is exactly double when compared to the last 100 years, that is between 1906 to 2005. So it is, it is an alarming situation. The main reason behind this much temperature rise, we are using more fossil fuel for transport sector and energy sector, as well as because of urbanization. We are, cutting more trees, deforestation, industrialization, and more population, increase in population, also the main root cause for this temperature rise. Let us see how to minimize this carbon dioxide emission. As I mentioned earlier, most of the countries, they are depending 70 to 75% of the electricity from thermal power plant. But the main problem with thermal power plant, if you want to generate 1 unit of energy from thermal power plant, that is 1 kilowatt hour energy from thermal power plant, and you have to generate approximately 0.94 kg of carbon dioxide. Or for the calculation purpose, let us say like this: for the generation of 1 kilowatt of electricity, thermal power plant will release 1 kg of carbon dioxide. I have small mathematical calculation to discuss in detail about the total carbon dioxide emission from the thermal power plant. I have taken India's total electricity generation and consumption for the calculation purpose, so that you will get the clear insight about this CO2 emission from thermal power plant. The total electricity generation of India is 1,433 terawatt hour. This is based on 2016 to 17 data sheet. And if you look at the total gross consumption, I would say each person is consuming around 1,122 kilowatt hour electricity, or I can say 1,122 units. Every year we are consuming an average of 1,122 unit of electricity. And as I said earlier, every country is generating 70% of electricity through power plant. So out of 1,122 kilowatt hour electricity, and 70% is from thermal power plant. And when you generate electricity through thermal power plant, then the thermal plant will emit CO2. It is approximately 0.94 kg for 1 unit of electricity. So if you do the calculation, then I'm getting around 673 kg. So for each person is responsible for emission of 673 kg carbon dioxide to the atmosphere for every year. This is based on 2016 and 17 data sheet report. Somehow we have to, either neutralize this amount of carbon dioxide released by thermal power plant, or we have to absorb. We have to find out the alternate way to avoid the huge amount of CO2 emission to the environment. And if you take tree, each tree, this is the nature gift. Each tree can consume 20 kg carbon dioxide every year. That is, if you take a matured and good grown-up tree can consume 20 kg carbon dioxide every year. Instead, this will release a good amount of oxygen for the environment in order to balance the atmospheric CO2-O2 ratio. So if you look at the total carbon dioxide emission by the single person is 673 as per my calculation. So in order to consume 673 kg carbon dioxide, we need 33 trees, because each tree can consume 20 kg carbon dioxide. So in order to consume 673 kg carbon dioxide, we need 33 trees in our country. So I have searched the total tree population in India. And if you look at the total tree population in India, we have 35 billion trees. And if you look at the total population of the country, we have 1.267 billion, that is around 130 crore population. So it comes around 28 trees per person. So based on the 16-17 data, we have 28 trees per person, but in order to utilize the total carbon dioxide emission to the environment, we need 33 trees. So already we are in shortage of 5 trees. So we have to find out the alternate way to find out how to reduce the CO2 emission to the environment in order to protect the environment for the future generation. Already, ASD has taken a lot of initiative, and through various technical institute and schools, we are promoting, tree plantation program. So we have initiated one student, one tree concept, and many NGOs are doing tree plantation, because it is not a current issue. It's a long-term issue. So if you plant trees now, then at least another 5 to 10 years you will be having good grown-out tree, so that you can manage the situation in future. But we need immediate solution. The tree plantation will be for future, but we need immediate solution, because both thermal power plant and transport sectors are emitting more carbon dioxide to the environment. So we need to curtail that excess CO2 emission into the environment. My suggestion would be, so as far as possible, try to replace all thermal power plant by renewable energy. Either you can go for solar power plants, wind power plants. You can use ocean technology. You can use geothermal and other naturally available resources for the generation of electricity. And many countries have taken a lot of initiative to promote renewable energy for generation of electricity. Next, I will move on to the energy, transport sector. This is another important area we have to concentrate in order to reduce the CO2 emission. But most of the people, they are thinking that, if we simply replace conventional vehicle by electrical vehicle, we can simply reduce CO2. But if you look at the ground reality, it is not so. But for the electric vehicle, we need electricity to charge the battery. But as of now, most of the country still they are using conventional power for charging the battery. So unless you replace conventional power by renewable energy, there is no point in replacing fossil fuel vehicle by EV vehicle. So we have to find out alternate resources to charge the battery. Then only you will get the full benefit from EV vehicle. And if you look at the history of EV vehicle, it is not the recent technology. So we are using EV vehicle from 1897. So in 1897, we have 28% of total vehicle we preferred over internal combustion. Electric vehicles were preferred over internal combustion engine. But because of a lot of practical difficulties, later stage IC dominates EV. So as of now, most of the countries they are depending on IC engines for transport sector. Now a lot of research is going up. I think within 2 to 3 years, most of the countries they will replace conventional vehicle by electric vehicle. The main advantage the going for electric vehicle in internal combustion engine, we have so many parts, but in electric vehicle we have limited parts. It has electric traction motor, DC to DC converter, charging unit, and battery unit. That is the major cost involved in electric vehicle. And we have different classification. We have battery operated electric vehicle. We have hybrid electric vehicle. We have plug-in hybrid electric vehicle and fuel cell electric vehicle. Let me give you a small intro about these 4 types, so that you will get a basic idea about electric vehicle. Nowadays people are afraid to go for electric vehicle because in every headlines we could see suddenly there is a burning of battery in EV vehicle, and we don't have proper technical person to explain the technology behind EV vehicle, and slowly we will come to know the real advantage of electric vehicle. So if you look at the battery operated electric vehicle, and the main source for powertrain, it depends on only battery, and the total cost of the vehicle depends on the capacity of the battery. Nowadays, this kind of vehicle advisable for the local transport, because if I increase the capacity of the battery, then I have to spend more money for battery, because people are not affordable for high cost. Even IC type of vehicles are available within 5 lakhs rupees, whereas if you go for the same capacity EV vehicle, it is cost around 10 lakhs. So we have to reduce the cost of the electric vehicle, so that we can promote EV vehicle to the large consumer. And next we have hybrid electric vehicle. In hybrid electric vehicle, we have both battery unit as well as internal combustion engine. When you operate a vehicle in low speed, and that time it will take power from battery. During high speed operation, it will take power from the internal combustion engine. And the third type on the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. In plug-in hybrid vehicle, again, it is similar to hybrid electric vehicle. We are having both internal combustion engine and battery unit. But the main the difference between hybrid electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. In hybrid electric vehicle, during low speed application, motor takes power from the battery, and during high speed application, it calls internal combustion engine for the driving the car. Whereas in plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, it always uses battery power. When you have low power, then it calls internal combustion engine to drive the vehicle. So mostly it runs with battery backup, and when the battery backup is low, when it comes down to the normal value, below the normal value, then it will take internal combustion engine as a driving source for the vehicle. And the recent another technology, a lot of research work is happening with respect to fuel cell electric vehicle. I think they are using hydrogen fuel cell for this vehicle. This type of vehicle carries hydrogen in special high pressure tanks when it acquires from the air, sucked from the environment. The electricity generated from the fuel cells goes to an electric motor which drives the vehicle. The main drawback of the fuel cell electric vehicle, the sustainable and environmental friendly way of producing hydrogen is still lagging, and the refueling infrastructure lags. Already we are lagging behind charging of battery with respect to electric vehicle. Again, when it comes to hydrogen charging, still we are lagging behind charging infrastructure. Hopefully in future, we will get enough support from the government in order to promote charging station so that we can have a wider range of charging station for the electric vehicle. And the currently available commercial EV vehicles, I would like to introduce few electric vehicles available right now in the market. The Mahindra E2O Plus, it's a 4-seater hatchback model vehicle. You can operate this vehicle up to maximum of 85 kilometer with a single charge. And the next model is from Mahindra E-Verito. The cost of this vehicle is 10 lakh, and on average, every hatchback model cost around 10 lakh, and you can operate this vehicle up to maximum of 110 kilometer for single charge. Then after that, you need to recharge your battery. That is the main problem currently we are facing with electric vehicle. The next popular model launched by Nissan, that is Nissan Leaf. It is one of the successful model launched by Nissan. So they are using two different types of battery packs of capacity to 40 kilowatt hour and 30 kilowatt hour, and you can drive this vehicle up to 320 kilometer, and the cost of this vehicle is 20 lakhs. And this is another model by Tata Tiago. The cost of this vehicle is around 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs. You can drive this vehicle up to 135. Almost, all hatchback model cost around 8 to 10 lakhs, and you can drive the vehicle up to maximum of 135 kilometer to 150 kilometer for single charge. This is another model by Mahindra, KUB 100 EV. And what is the main problem we are facing with respect to e-mobility? So if you look at the limitations with respect to e-mobility, we have 5 different limitations. The first one is the purchase price of the car. If you look at the cost of the fossil fuel, you can easily purchase a hatchback model of something around 5 lakhs to 6 lakhs. But if you look at EV vehicle for the same capacity, you have to spend another 4 lakhs to 5 lakhs. So the cost of the vehicle becomes double. So it is very difficult to attract consumer because of its high price. So when the industry started producing in the bulk number, then the price may come down, but it will take time. So the first limitation when it comes to mobility sector, the price of the vehicle. Hopefully, we will get better price within 2 to 3 years. And the second and the biggest problem we are facing with respect to e-vehicle, the charging time. Because the current mindset of our people, they are not even ready to wait 5 minutes to fill their tank. Suddenly they will move on to the next petrol station to fill their tank. But if you look at EV vehicle, you have to wait at least 30 minutes to charge the battery. With fast charging technology, you have to wait 30 minutes. That is the real challenge we are facing. So charging the battery. In order to overcome this problem, they are thinking about swapping of battery. So in order to avoid this time delay for charging the battery, so once you reach the charging station, you can replace your the old battery by fully charged battery. But a lot of practical difficulty is there when you go for swapping the battery. So two different approaches there. We have to improve the technology so that we can further reduce the charging time. The another one is the swapping of battery. We have to find out the economical way to implement this method so that we can attract more consumer. Then infrastructure, yes, of course, we are still lagging with the infrastructure in terms of charging station, in terms of servicing station. We don't have a required number of servicing station like fossil vehicle. Similarly, like conventional fuel station, like charging station for EV vehicle. And a lot of investments are pumped from government sector. Hopefully, within 2 to 3 years, we can find more number of charging station as well as servicing station for EV vehicles for the benefit of the consumer. Then risk, that is the main problem. Burning of battery, even recently Tesla model car has faced this problem. So the fear factor is there. People are not ready to migrate from fossil fuel vehicle to EV vehicle because of burning battery issue. And even with respect to battery, also a lot of research is happening. Soon this problem will be addressed in proper way so that we can promote EV vehicle for the future generation. So this is the two suggestion to limit the CO2 emission to the environment. So we have to find out alternate way for the generation of electricity, and as far as possible, we have to replace fossil fuel vehicle by e-vehicle. And before concluding my speech, I wanted to emphasize on sustainable goals, the promoted by United Nations. Actually, in 2015, the Paris International Conference, all the developing and developed countries, around 196 countries, they have agreed to promote renewable energy for generation of electricity and replacing fossil fuel vehicle by electric vehicle in order to limit the CO2 emission into the atmosphere, so that we can further avoid the temperature rise in the global. Not only that, the United Nations, they have set out 17 goals, sustainable goals. It's like a blueprint to achieving a better and more sustainable future for all of us. Addressing the challenges on the current world and the people, the problem facing in the daily basis. The Sustainable Development Goals, also known as, it's a global goal. They are adopted by all United Nations member states in 2050, and they have agreed to, end the poverty, protect and planet, and ensure that all the people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. The 17 SDGs are integrated, that is, they recognize that the action in one area will affect outcomes in others, and that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. Through the pledge to leave no one behind, countries have committed to fast track progress for those furthest behind first. That is why the SDGs are designed to bring the world to several life-changing zeros, including zero poverty, zero hunger, zero AIDS, and discrimination against women and girls. Therefore, everyone is needed to contribute to achieve this target. So on this special occasion, my appeal to all the delegates and audience over here to support United Nations to achieve this sustainable goal for the better future for our next generation. So with that small conclusion, let me thank organizer for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak about the sustainable pathway for the future generation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Can you just, yeah, thank you. So we've had wonderful speech from two wonderful keynote speakers. And with that note, let us start the technical session 2. I'm sure the participants are all ready. And before we start, so let me invite the session chairs, Dr. King Cook and